Faisal, you've talked about the two Earths, parallel universe, and I'd love for you to share more about our dear Mother Earth.
Yes. Ah, Mother Earth, I can't believe I was living on Earth and didn't notice, Where was I, Yeah, nice view, and I'm busy.
Mm-hmm.
My ego was dominating the scene, my issues, my lostness, you name it. We got lost so much in one domain, humanity, that became so, I don't know, collective narcissism. We are all wrapped up our egos and our issues, and to the point that we forget not only our humanness, but Mother Earth,
Yes.
Pachamama, the great mother that is doing, I don't know, how are we going to be here without all the sustenance she is giving and all the love and all the actualized love? It's not just emotional love. The earth turns love into grains and into food and into water and into air. She's a love being, producing things in a way we don't notice. Now I think something is really happening, really beautiful. More and more, I think some of it because of COVID, some of it was also what is happening. Humanity are not so distracted with this neurotic activity, this rat race that we were in. And people are beginning to be more aware, like, what are we doing? Now they have this last, what was it, the climate?
COP26 in Scotland?
Sorry?
Like the COP26 in
Yeah,
Scotland?
the COP, yeah, about the earth and what are we doing? And, as this beautiful young girl,
Greta.
Greta.
We love Greta.
Yeah, and she's, oh, whatever they say, it's just blah, blah, blah. And it's true. Politicians talk and they make budgets and they go mostly in their pockets, in their establishments, It sounds right, but really, most of them don't have the right heart, don't have the right place. So humanity are beginning to awaken more and more. People are beginning to think there is something happening to Earth, a crisis happening to Earth, to the earth, to the animal kingdom, to the waters, to the air, to the weather. We are rubbing the electromagnetic field of this earth. We are messing up with something, immense. And the new generations, I really so touched by their keenness. My generation was just coming from, I don't know, the caves to the new light. Then two generations, then the generation after and after got lost in the material. They were so much in Disneyland. Then the new generation had it even with the distractions. They are more serious. They communicate now. They have like what I call holy city on the internet holy city. Those young generation communicating from China to America, to South America, they're sharing their experiences, their loneliness, their concern. A new consciousness is beginning to percolate more and more. And people are saying, enough is enough. The damage is really severe. And some people, say that's not even reversible. I believe it's reversible. And the earth is, even if it's not reversible for us, we'll be kicked out. We lose this beautiful way of life, maybe hang out in somewhere in the bardo, another domain for a long time, 50,000 years, maybe 100,000 years, till we learn our lesson and come back to this most precious planet. This precious planet continues. Life, it has the blueprint of life and creation, and she will regenerate herself. But we will be kicked out because, we messed up. So this new consciousness, I call it the consciousness of the holy city, that a consciousness that gathers all humanity, that I believe at this time, humanity is moving from individuation to Sangha, to community. A new consciousness that embraces, this is not Chinese, this is not American, this is new generation, and they want to find out what's going to happen for them in the future. The Chinese, the American, the South American, they all breathe the same air. We're destroying South America. The kids, they're saying enough. and in China. And so everywhere, this generation is coming, really bringing light, bringing consciousness to what's going on, and will change where we are going. We're going to put the brakes, and many of the politicians and establishments, unless they align, they'll be thrown out of the ship. You know, the ship will continue cruising in the ocean of being, but those really have to swim with little sharks like them for a little while, in lostness, in alienation, in the deep, in the darkness, till they learn how to be human again. Till they learn that this is not about greed and power and about enmity and hate and the beast. This is about love and our humanness, and we have a planet nothing like it. Let them go look in all the universe if they find anything like this. Now, what is this planet? Beside its, what we see the glory of it, the physical manifestation, the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, the insect, the human, the energies, the weather, magnificent, really, like magnificent show happening every day is magic. Every day is glory. We look at the clouds and we say, how could this be floating in what? You know, who designed this? Who made this intricacies? And we take it for granted. We are hypnotized running around. This planet is much, much more than what it meets the eye. This planet, I remember one of the eye-opening was, I was reading also again, I love Carlos Castaneda's book, and Don Juan, you know, book. And one of the chapters he wrote, Carlos Castaneda wrote about, remember I mentioned Don Juan was the teacher and also transmitter of essential state. And Don Guinero, his friend, was the benefactor. He was really a man of power, and he can take Carlos Castaneda into other dimensions of reality to perceive. I do that in my retreat. I can hold the field and bring the whole group in 10 days into gold or into diamond, a gift, you know, a gift from being, a gift from my soul, and I use it to do that. And I did it a lot with Ridwan. I did a lot with unfoldment with the diamond approach. I know what I did. It doesn't reduce what Hamid has done. It's wonderful, or what Karen has done, but this is my contribution to be mentioned. I downloaded the states and I held the field for them to manifest, and people absorb it in their skin and their organs, you know. So this Don Guinero was the benefactor. And one day he wanted to jolt Carlos Castaneda from his assemblage point and his intellect and mind, and want to know this and want to know that. So he did an act of power. In this act of power, he lay down on the earth, on the ground, you know, on his stomach, and started making a movement as if he's swimming.
Oh.
And Carlos Castaneda, for a little while, said he's just seeing Don Guinero swimming. Then after some time, his vision opened up, his seeing opened up, and he saw that Don Guinero was swimming in an earth of light. Not the earth that we know, the essence of this earth. This is an earth of light. And he was showing him that in his body of light, he swims in this earth. He glides in this beautiful glow and essence of this earth. And for a seer, if you see more, this earth is called the earth of light. In Sufism, they call it the Herculean earth, from Hercules. And the earth of Fatima, and the earth of Mary. And it is a glorious essence of this earth, that this earth is not just made of the material we know. Every element of this material has an emanation. Every metal, leaf, air, they are all made of frequencies, and those frequencies cannot be perceived by the eye. We see the manifestation in the material realm. But for inner seeing, you will see that there is a diamond dimension emanating from the earth. And you see light coming from the earth. So we are living on and with a living being. And in fact, some of them say that this earth is made of 7 earths. That the center of it is a crystallized iron. Around it, the sun fusion, light and nuclear fusion. Around it, 7 concentric spheres.
Oh.
And each concentric sphere has an alphabet related to it, a letter and of the alphabet related to it, and has a color, the rainbow color, one of the rainbow color related to it, and has a certain magnetic frequency, electromagnetic frequency related to it. So this is the 7 earth they talk about. They say that there are 7 earth, you know, and it says they are concentric 7 earth because they are within this earth, these frequencies. Yeah. And there are 7 heavens, and every concentric plane, you know, a diamond, a gold, a silver, you know, frequencies, its emanations to infinity in the absolute. So golden diamond is spreading to infinity of beyond the universe, beyond the material universe. These are the 7 heavens. So the 7 heavens are emanation of the 7 different layers in the earth. So it's made of 7 rings, rings of power, rings of light, rings of knowledge, and those 7 rings consolidate the frequency from the absolute into matter, into life. You know, there's wisdom in the programming, and I really don't know the complexity of how it is, how to translate from frequencies to matter to living presences. Magical kingdom. Science is not even close to knowing this. They're touching on it, they're bedazzled, but they are so much about the elephant in the dark, and they don't know that there is an elephant, and the elephant is in the sunshine, it's not even the dark. So this earth is magnificent, it's alive. And it also made frequencies. So our frequencies also run this earth. The anxiety, the madness that we made is also creating havoc. You know, it's not just climate change, it's not climate cry, but also our psychosis, our neurosis, our madness, messing up also with the weather. This earth senses our frequencies and respond to those frequencies. If we chant mantras to it, the ocean become more blissful, you know, the crystals and water of the water become more crystals and more beautiful. The trees begin to shine with radiant diamonds streaming in every branch, you know. Now we are covering them with our neurosis, with our psychosis, you know, so much covering the earth. So we need to do also cleansing in the psychological, in the spiritual earth, bodies and ourselves, to awaken, to cleanse the spiritual body of this earth. Yeah. This Pachamama, the Great Mother, is also is the source of the essential domain. She is the holder of all the essential domain. This earth is the holy city of existence. Mm-hmm. It's now there is so much dust in it, and the most dust that we think is only material. It's not just material. Every now and then when I had glimpses of it, it made every cell in me bow with, wow, I'm living in this magical Mary's earth, diamonds and light, you know. I remember when my teacher, Claudio Naranjo, you know, he used to get high, I don't know in what, you know. He will sit in his garden and look at the tree. Then he comes and tell us, today he saw the emanation of the tree, diamonds streaming in it, and the branches and the leaves and the colors. And he was seeing the aura like as if he was on an acid trip, you know. Mm-hmm. People who are on an acid trip, their eyes, and something happened, they can't see more. Some of it hallucination, but some of it is really seeing, like what Don Juan sees, the auras and the light and the body of light and the dimensions. This earth is also like that. So there is, call it parallel earth, you know, earth of light with the physical earth, but they are not parallel, they are woven into each other. So is the universe. There is parallel universe, essential universe. And this essential universe is rich with so many dimensions we really don't even know. You know, as I said before, I was fascinated for a UFO to take me into this galaxy and that. Now I feel this is so regressed. I don't want to go to another galaxy. They have more civilization, faster 5G or something. I want to go to a diamond dimension and meet diamond entities and something more glorious than just the physical. And there is a kingdom to be discovered. We are the citizens of this infinite kingdom, infinite and eternal kingdom. And I hope now, whatever is happening, calm down our neuroses, calm down our psychosis, and open our heart and our soul to our essence. And we really begin to feel and sense and see, each with their own style, each with their own capacity, the glory that we are in. You know, really, this is so beautiful. So yes, there's parallel universe, but this parallel universe is multi-parallel universes. I think the scientists will be like kids discover Disneyland. They will say, oh, this and that and this and that, you know. Yes, it's more glorious than we think.
Faisal, you say we are the citizens. Are we not also the creators?
We are the creators. The creating mechanism is that we can activate the absolute by our intention, by our speech, and by, of course, our doing. We can build, we can do all of that. We are the creators. Is there a creator? You know, I said, yes, there is a leader. That leader is, you know, the one who knows more than us. We've forgotten. Call him the Messiah, call him the second, 10th coming, call him whatever you like.
Or her?
Her, yeah. And when I say him, I mean dual. That's in the videos we did, dual unity. Sorry, I keep using this, but I mean the two. The yin and yang has to come together. The male and female has to come together. This principle of union is what's ruling the universe. The Taoists discovered it. They put it in this, you know. Even the absolute, as I said, is divisible. Radiance at the deep. Radiance is masculine and the deep is feminine. Radiance is truth, the deep is wisdom. And the wisdom and truth makes the one. You know, call it black radiance, but they are radiance and the deep. This has to be parted to be seen. Before they were one. Now for me, no. One principle and this another principle. And the union of the two makes the one. But it's the union of the two. Male and female. And that's the creator on all the level. The field is the source of creation. We create from the absolute. Some people believe the absolute is creating everything. No, the absolute is the source of the creation. We are the creators. I remember the Dalai Lama saying, you know, he had a meeting with the religious leaders, you know, in California a long time ago. You know, and he was really having a chuckle. You know, when I went there, he was really laughing. He said, "Look at this. You know, all of them believe in God, and we don't believe in God. They're making me, you know, the leader to put this, you know, honoring me that way, and I don't believe in God. You know, not the God they believe, but okay, they have their belief. If their God is good, fine. If their God is not good, you know." And he was pointing that we are the creators. To delegate it only to one makes us insignificant, makes us small, makes us not own what we are doing, you know. God is doing it, faith. No, we are. We really need to show up to the glory and to the responsibility. To be a creator is a huge responsibility, but we make this universe. And now we are making the mess on earth. Nobody is doing it. It's not the absolute having wrath on us and making the planet like this. We are carbon dioxide. We're doing millions of things. The absolute is here saying, okay, you want to change it? I'm here. Resource me. Bring whatever you need. So yes.
Thank you.
Thanks.